Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone who is watching this video presentation today. Before I begin, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Alia Maisara binti Muhammad Zaharuddin, and today I am very excited to share my individual project for our course TPT 251, which focuses entirely on the core components of transportation. Specifically for my assignment, I have chosen to dive deep into the world of road transportation. To make this project more practical and interesting, I will also be sharing a real-life case study on a very famous bus company that I'm sure most of us see on the roads every single day, which is Handal Industri Jam Berhad, or better known as the Causeway Link. To kick things off, let's look at the basic definition of road transportation. When we talk about road transport, we are talking about the physical movement of people like you and me, as well as goods and cargo from one location to another by using vehicles that drive on roads and public highways. If you look back at history, it is actually one of the oldest, most traditional, and also most widely used modes of transportation in the entire world. Long before we had airplanes or advanced train networks, roads were already the primary way humans connected with each other. Now, why is this topic so relevant to us? Well, here in Malaysia, road transportation is not just an option. It is also an absolutely essential component of our daily transportation system. It serves as the main backbone that connects our busy urban cities to the quiet rural areas and villages. Without roads, our economy and daily lives would basically come to a complete stop. Because of this extensive road system, it allows millions of Malaysian citizens to travel conveniently every single day, whether they are heading to work, going to school, or university for education, or simply traveling across states for leisure and family holidays. So, throughout this presentation, we will explore how the system works and its pros and cons, and also how companies like Causeway Link manage all the challenges that come with it. So, what makes transportation so special than everything else? So, there are three main characteristics we should look at. First, it has high accessibility. This just means that cars and buses can reach almost any house or building using roads and highways, which is something that trains or planes can't easily do. And second, the routes are very flexible. If there is a bad traffic jam or an accident ahead, drivers can easily change their route and take a different route to get to their destination. And lastly, it is perfect for short and medium distances. That's why we rely on it so much for our travel and moving around our own states. Now, we're gonna talk about the good things about road transportation. So, first of all, it is very cost effective. Building roads and running cars or buses usually cost a lot less money compared to setting up massive airports and airplanes. Second, it is highly convenient, because we have so many roads and public transport facilities everywhere, and passengers can easily catch a ride whenever and wherever they need to. Third, it creates a lot of employment opportunities. The transport industry provides a ton of jobs for people like bus and truck drivers, mechanics, operators, and logistics staff. But unfortunately, not everything is perfect, including the road transportation. It also has its own problems too. And the biggest issue we face every day is traffic congestion. Heavy traffic like especially in busy town areas always causes bad delays and makes traveling less efficient. And another sad reality is the accident risk, because there are so many vehicles that sharing the same routes. So the accident rate is unfortunately higher compared to modes like trains and airplanes. But finally, there is a high maintenance requirement. Roads, highways, and the vehicles themselves get worn out fast. So they constantly need ongoing repairs and maintenance to stay safe. If you look at Malaysia's network, we have thousands of kilometers of highways and roads that connect our major cities right down to small rural areas. This large network allows both passenger and cargo to move smoothly across the whole country. To manage all these travelers, we have some major transportation hubs. I'm sure many of you have been to this place, like Terminal Bersepadu Selatan or TBS in Kuala Lumpur, the Sungai Nibong Bus Terminal in Penang, and of course Lucky Central Down in Johor. To keep everyone's safety on the road, our country has specific rules and policies. The main law is the Road Transport Act 1987. This act handles things like registering vehicles, issuing driver's license, setting traffic laws, and keeping the road safe. We also have the National Transport Policy, or we call the NTP. Like the whole goal of the NTP is like to build a transport system in Malaysia that is sustainable, smart, and efficient for the future. And even though with the good systems, land transport still faces tough challenges. For example, if you look at our neighbor, Singapore, even though they have a highly efficient transport system, they still suffer from traffic congestion during peak hours, especially around business district and expressways. On top of that, as the population grows, the demand for transport keeps going up. So authorities always have to upgrade roads and traffic system. Road safety management is also a non-stop challenge that requires constant campaigns to protect people. This also brings us to the key stakeholders who are involved in the sector, especially for cross-border travel between Malaysia and Singapore. This ecosystem relies heavily on government bodies like Malaysia's Ministry of Transport and also Singapore's Land Transport Authority, working together with private companies like Handal Indah Sdn Bhd, which is the company behind Causeway Link. This whole network directly affects billions of daily commuters and passengers. At the same time, transport operators have to manage their workforce, like the bus captains who drive the fleets every day, plus local communities and environmental groups are always reminding these companies to keep fares fair while moving towards greener transport. So let's look at closer at our case study on Causeway Link to see how this all works in real life. And it really shows that how government rules and private companies really impact our daily travel. For example, Causeway Link worked together with government plans to introduce Bus.my scheme and even brought in over 60 electric buses. This was a great move because it helped reduce carbon emission and modernize our public transport. However, their operations can also be quite fragile. We have seen internal stakeholders issue recently, like bus captains taking industrial actions because of disagreement over wages and work structure. Combine that with the daily massive traffic jam at the Johor and Singapore Causeway during peak hours, and it's clear that running a transport company needs constant communication and active management to keep things running smoothly. So to wrap things up, managing road transport isn't as easy as you think, and it needs everyone to work together. So thank you so much for listening, and feel free to ask if you have any questions. Bye!